Hello, my name is Lamarsharee, and this is a letter to my younger self. Hey Queen, guess what? It's you, but older and cooler and with a lot more stories to tell. Some are wild, trust me. I know you're carrying so many questions, fears, and dreams in your heart right now. You probably feel that life has not been fair to you. I wish I could sit beside you at this moment to comfort you and tell you everything I have learned and which experiences are worth the sacrifice, tears, and heartache. But for now, this letter will have to suffice. First, please believe me when I tell you that you are beautiful. You are smart, and you are stronger than you think. There will be many moments that feel impossible and days when you feel that you can no longer go on or wearing a mask just to make it through the day. Here's the thing. It's okay to not have everything figured out or know exactly who you are at the moment. This is what life is about, not fitting into a neat little box with a bow. You're going to become a young mom to amazing kids who will look up to you with wide, curious eyes. They will teach you more about love, patience, and silliness than anyone else ever could. Remember, what matters most to them isn't how many hours you spend or the fancy things you give. They want your quality time, more hugs, your undivided attention, and your love. Protect them fiercely. Stand up for them, even when it's hard, because you are their safe place. Let them know that their voice and individualism are their greatest strength. I know you have lost people that you thought you'd never have to say goodbye to in such a short amount of time. It felt as if the world had stopped and your heart along with it. Trust me. I know how heavy that grief can feel, like it's stuck in your bones. It's okay to miss them, and it's also okay to cry, and it's okay to laugh. Again, don't feel guilty about continuing without them. If anything, they are cheering you from the sky. They are the ones who want to see you succeed the most. If you're quiet, you can hear them saying, "You got this, girl." There will be people who come into your life and they will use words like love and friendship, but their actions will say otherwise. They will drain you of your energy and make you doubt yourself. Don't let them dim your light, Queen. Remember who you are, what you stand for, and remember your worth. You are not broken, not too much, not too little. You are exactly who you need to be. You have a heart big enough to hold oceans and a spirit to weather any storm. You are deserving of respect, kindness, and love. Your kindness and humbleness are not a weakness. Your dreams, oh, they're big, and they are yours for a reason. You feel like your dreams and passions are too big for you to carry out, but don't let anyone convince you to settle for less. Drown out the noise and criticisms from others and yourself. Make those dreams come true. Don't doubt yourself and don't beat yourself down or fear that you aren't worthy or smart enough to accomplish the things you desire most. Dance ridiculously, sing loudly, laugh until your stomach hurts. Cherish the people you love and show and tell them how much they mean to you. Don't take the small moments for granted. Remember to keep dreaming big, stay curious, and hold on to your compassion. And never stop chasing the life you want. With so much love, your beautiful older self who knows you are unstoppable.
What strengths did you have back then that you don't think your younger self recognized in it?
My voice. I'm more diligent and accepting of who I am now than I was back then. I was very shy. I didn't stand up for myself. in a lot of situations. So my voice was a strength that I didn't know I had when I was younger. And so it's now where I could defend myself or protect myself and those, you know, the people that I love. So yeah.
I love that. A voice is, I think, something a lot of young people struggle with, trying to find, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It's okay to say no, and it's okay to be who you are. I feel like a lot of times we get silenced when we're younger. It's stay in a child's place, or you feel as if you cannot say no to an adult or to anyone, a pastor, anyone, just people in your life. And it's okay to use your voice to stand your ground. And when you're younger, you know, you don't know that yet. And it's important to recognize that you have every right to scream, yell, cry, say no, whatever the case is. Just use your voice and stand up for what you believe in.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What challenges were you facing at any point when you were younger that felt impossible, but now looking back seem not really that impossible at all?
So looking back, I would say you know, I think it's just like, again, it just comes back to being just accepting who I am. When I look back at my younger self, I was very I had an eating disorder. So and I kept that secret for a long time. No one knew. A lot of people still don't know. So being who I am today and looking back, I could have just accepted myself, you know, and I think it's just, you know, drowning out the other voices saying that I'm not this or I am this, and just kind of recognizing who I am. I look back and I realize, you know what, everything that I am today, I wish I could have just accepted back then. And I think we give others too much power over who we are and how we feel. And so it's recognizing now that I had that power back then to accept myself. And, you know, I do wish I could have back then.
Yeah.
And so, but, you know, it took a journey to get there. So I know who I am now. So it's all good.
I definitely think I wish I would have figured out who I was sooner.
Yeah.
Because the happiness, the freedom that comes when you find out who you are.
And your worth, right? It's like being able to exhale and just say, you know what, I love who I am. You know, there's always ways to improve yourself, but that's also in realizing that you're not living for anyone else, you know? So, yeah.
That was one of the big things that like hit me like a truck. What do you think you were most afraid of? And what would you say to yourself now? Well, what would you say to yourself then to help calm those fears?
You know, honestly, this might be a cliche, I don't know. The very thing that I was afraid of is not feeling love. Like not having someone love me for me. And so now it's like, you know, you can't really expect someone to love you if you don't love yourself, right?
Yeah.
So you have to love yourself first. And then the love you have for yourself will hopefully attract someone who loves you for who you are. And so that was my biggest fear. And so now I'm surrounded by people who do love me for me. And I could be myself. I could be goofy. I could just, you know, be obnoxious or, you know, just comfortable in my skin. And just appreciate those who do love me. And I think, that was my biggest fear, just not being loved the way I needed or unconditionally.
Yeah. I definitely, both you and Steve, who was just here, you both have like made me just like rethink about like, I definitely always was chasing finding, especially love, but just finding something that I wasn't giving myself in other people. And like it took me forever, and like I'm still struggling with it, of like figuring out that like a lot of this external validation, a lot of these things I'm looking for in other people to fill in me, I need to fill in myself first before I even like can start touching other people filling anything near me.
Yes,
you know?
Absolutely. It's a journey, and it's something you work on every day. So it's not like a one and done. You know, every day you have to wake up and tell yourself, "Look, I'm worthy." And you have to, I tell people all the time, especially younger people, like, it's okay to date and treat yourself,
Yeah.
like, because we shouldn't look into others for validation, but it happens.
Yeah.
And that's okay too. Just you have to know who you are and just remember your worth, and you are worthy. So
I love that.
yeah.
Last question I have. What did you believe about yourself then that you no longer believe?
That's a hard one. There's a whole list. So I guess it just all comes full circle. Is I didn't feel like I was worthy of love either.
Yeah.
I didn't think, I was wanted. That's just in life in general. I love my parents, especially my mom, and I think there were moments in time when I was younger and I didn't feel like I deserved, certain things, and I belittled myself a lot, and I dealt with a lot growing up, and it felt like, oh, maybe it was because of this. And now that I'm older, I realize that, and I know that every child deserves to be protected. Everyone deserves to be loved and to have a loving home. And I give grace to everyone because there are moments and times where people need grace. And so I think that was something I believed when I was younger, just not being worthy, or just maybe it was deserved because I wasn't worthy, or whatever the case was or the thought was then. But now being older, it's like, okay, yeah. And so I have 3 children, and I let them know that they are beautiful. I'm like, you look good. And I let them know they're smart. And I think it's important because I didn't have that validation when I was younger. And so I make sure to give it to the younger generation because they need to know that they are valued and they're wanted. So, yeah.
I love that. You kind of just answered this, but is there anything else you would like your children to know if they were watching this? Just like about either yourself when you were younger, about them, about their future?
Well, yes. So just know that you're loved, you're cherished. I wouldn't trade you for anything in the world. I wasn't the best, but I just thank God for you every day. Like, you guys are my inspiration, my love. You're my world, and if I had a chance to do it over again, you will always, always and forever be included. And you're not a mistake. God put you in my life for a reason, and I thank Him for that, because that's one great thing and accomplishment I could say that I had help with.
I love that. Is there anything else that you would want to say to either your younger self, to the people watching this? Anything?
Yeah, you got this. It's going to be a rocky road, but anything easy don't last. And so you have to work towards being who you are, being great, and no matter the circumstances, the trials, the tribulations, it's okay to cry. It's okay to be upset. Get it all out your system and then get up and just keep chucking.
Awesome.